As long as fishermen's tales have been told, there is always a recurring one. It speaks of the behemoth. Seemingly sentient, this creature does not feed on humans, but finds delight in torturing them in the most gruesome ways possible. After being swallowed whole, you enter a tunnel filled with extremely foul and noxious acid. You will feel a larger dread than you could ever have imagined. Unspeakable horrors fill your mind until you can't think of anything else. Once you are on the verge of killing yourself, the behemoth expels you, always near other humans. If you do not succeed in killing these humans, you will probably be taken to a mental asylum to spend the rest of your life. If you do succeed in killing them, you will regain your sanity. But at what price? Have you ever heard of the It? If you haven't, you're one of the lucky ones. The It lives all around you, in the corner of your eye, at the top of the stairs, in the darkness of your closet. The It is always there. I have had a personal experience with the It. It was about maybe a year and a half ago. I was home alone. My parents had gone out to dinner, since it was their anniversary. Now, it was becoming dark, very dark. I began reading scary stories because I loved to read them. At about 10 o'clock, I began to feel tired. I decided it was time to call it a night and go to bed. I brushed my teeth, put on my pajamas, and crawled under the covers. I began to drift off when I heard a crash. I thought it was just my mom and dad, and that they might have tripped or something in the dark. Boy, was I wrong. I began to hear small thumps on the stairs. They grew louder and louder. I heard them stop at my door. I thought my parents were just coming up to check on me, so I closed my eyes and ignored it. Just as I began to drift back to sleep, I heard the door creak open, as if someone were coming to check on me. Suddenly, the door slammed shut, causing my eyes to fly open. I looked around the room, but saw nothing unusual. I closed my eyes again, but I couldn't fall back asleep. My mind was racing, thoughts running through my head. Who slammed the door? Is it really my parents who are home? If they are, why did they slam the door? If they aren't, then who's here? I heard my closet door open, and I shot up in bed. Looking towards my closet, I stood up and slowly made my way towards the closet. Opening the door, I looked around inside the closet. Nothing. I turned around and came face to face with two beady glowing eyes, no nose, and a twisted smile. The It tilted its head, as if confused. It looked right at me. I felt a shiver run down my spine, as the It lifted a sharp finger, resembling the blade of a sharp knife, up to my neck. The It looked at me with its sickening smile and ran the blade down the side of my neck to the collar of my nightgown. The It whispered something in my ear, his voice sounding raspy, as if someone was losing their voice. The words the It whispered were,
"I will always be here. You will forever be in pain. One by one, I will kill all of your friends and family until you have nothing left. At that point, I will kill you. A slow, painful death."
The next day, I got a call from my uncle saying that my least favorite aunt died. Ever since then, family and friends have been dying, from the people I love the least to the most. Who knows? You may be the next victim. You know all those things you don't want to be real? Those things, horrible things your parents told you were in your imagination? They were dead wrong. I have a theory that somehow children can see them. For some reason, adults can't or won't. They're gruesome creatures, really. I don't find it pleasurable to see them, their skin cracked and stretched, seeping horrible smelling liquids. They watch you through eyes, if you can call them that. They're more like large holes where their eyes should be. They can disguise themselves as anything, though they seem to like the shape of a lost little girl the best. They lure you into empty buildings, claiming their parents aren't home and you need to stay with them. Then they tear you open and rip off your skin and put it on their furniture. They take your eyes and mount them on the wall. And they take your organs that you ripped out and they hang them on the ceiling fans. I would stay away from them if I were you. I'm telling you this as a warning because I don't want to see you suffer. They're gruesome, cruel, evil little creatures. The dementia patients? They go insane from seeing us. Oops. Did I say that? That's right, I did. Turn around. I'm a lost little girl, and my parents aren't home.
I need you to come in with me.
I can hear it out there, that heavy breathing, but the door is closed, it can't get in. It's odd how safe you feel when you have the door closed. It gives a false sense of security, like that flimsy piece of wood would keep out anything. We started that fantasy when we were children, the idea that monsters could not get out of the closet if the door was closed. And we still have that as adults, but we refuse to admit it. For me, that fantasy has been dispelled for some time. I was sitting in my room, on the computer, doing really nothing. Bored, I decided to listen to some music to pass the time. As I plugged in my headphones, I instinctively closed the door to my room. So no one comes in without you hearing them. I don't know why I do that, since I live alone, but that is not the point. I went on working and enjoying my music for some time, oblivious of everything around me. When I was done, I removed my headphones and that is when I finally heard it. It was a heavy, wet breathing sound, as if someone had a throat filled with mucus. I whipped around and looked behind me, expecting to see some monstrosity lurking in my room, but there was nothing. My room was empty. The sound was not even coming from my room. The sound was coming from behind my closed door. There was no doubt something was standing on the other side of the door. I could only hear the breathing, but I swear I could feel this thing's presence. I could feel it staring at me, its gaze cutting through my door, hiding at the far end of my room. I waited for it to come in, to fling the door open and charge at me, but it never did. The door remained closed. We both stood there on each side, waiting for the other to make a move. Hours seemed to pass, but the thing did not move. It just stood there breathing. I could not wait any longer. My curiosity won out. I just had to know what was on the other side. I gripped the doorknob and opened the door. To see nothing there was a relief, but it made it worse at the same time. The hallway was empty. The only sign of its presence was the sound of loud, clumsy footsteps fading in the distance. For a moment, I thought it was a possible joke, but my house was sealed and locked. Who would have done it? Then I believed it was a freak encounter, a once-in-a-lifetime event with some ghost. I wish I was right on that thought, because it really didn't leave. It was still here. Every time I close the door, I can hear it, the awkward, loud steps of the thing walking to the sealed doorway, the heavy, wet breathing of it waiting on the other side, and it never leaves until I open the door. When I do, there is nothing there. All you can hear is its footsteps as it runs off, and all you can see is nothing. No matter where I go, if there is a closed door, it is on the other side, wood or glass. It's always there when it is closed. The glass doors don't help. I can't even see through those. The only sign of it I can see is its breath fogging up the glass near the top of the doorframe. I have gone to the doctor's office, my office, hotels, grocery stores, even busy restaurants. I still hear it. No matter how loud the chatter and noise, I can always faintly hear that horrid breathing. Others do not hear it. They say they don't see it, but I know it is real. It stands outside my door at night while I sleep, waiting for hours. When I wake up, I find triangular depressions in my carpet. They are never coming or going. Just 2 footsteps right outside my door. I know it's real. Every time I open the door, I imagine seeing its face out there. One of these times it will happen. The door will swing open, and I will see it. I know it will. At least I will finally see the thing that has given me so much grief. On the day that happens, I don't know if I will feel fear or relief.